Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Candid Meena. And today we have some sad news is that the singer KK has passed away, unfortunately. And it's rather very shocking. I find I was shocked with this particular piece of news. And, there's so many reports coming out regarding this controversial, case. And so singer KK passes away, and Kolkata police has registered a case of unnatural death, and they have sent the body for post-mortem. So KK was seen sweating profusely as he took a break during his performance to wipe his face. So apparently, during this particular concert in Kolkata, there are many reports that the AC was switched off in the concert. The AC was switched off. Can you imagine? And also, there are reports being said that the seating capacity of the concert was around 2,500, and there were 5,000 people inside. So you can see, if these reports are correct, then you can imagine the amount of carbon dioxide which is inside the concert, and that would have generated a lot of heat. And unfortunately for KK, he always during the concert he said that he was feeling very uncomfortable, and he could not perform, and because of the heat, because the AC was switched off. And he was so what has happened is that KK fell ill while he was performing at a concert organized by Gurudas College at Nazrul Mancha in South Calcutta for almost an hour. And according to media reports, he took a break during his performance to wipe his face. Also, there was a time when the singer was seen gesturing to a man on the stage, which appeared that he was asking about the air conditioning in the auditorium. KK's team is seen rushing him out of the auditorium before he complained of chest pain. It is also being said that the concert took place in a closed auditorium and AC was not working. KK was sweating profusely, and he even requested the management to do something about it. He was taking breaks during his performance due to massive heat. The cause of the singer's death is not known yet. His body was sent for post-mortem, which will be conducted at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, and a report is expected soon. So police said that after getting the family's consent and body identification process, an inquiry and post-mortem was conducted. The mortal remains of KK is to be handed over to the family after the post-mortem. And meanwhile, KK's family had arrived in Kolkata and visited the hospital where his body was kept. And KK is just 53 years old, and he was very successful singer. And Goodman says that this is not a natural death. Absolutely, Goodman. And it's quite unfortunate that the organizers, if they should be taken to task, they should be penalized if if they had not switched off the AC, and listen to the listen to and he the event organizers endangered KK's life, if this is true, right? So they should be taken to task. And I do hope Didi takes decisive action in this particular case, right? So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Salman Khan, and there's a gangster. His name is Lawrence Bishnoi, and he was being probed in the Sidhu Moose murder. And back then in 2018, he threatened to kill Salman Khan. And gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, whose name has cropped up in connection with the murder of Sidhu Moose, had previously threatened to kill Salman Khan. So hours after Sidhu's murder in Punjab, the police suggested that Lawrence Bishnoi's gang might be involved. Even though Bishnoi is at Tihar jail, his involvement is being investigated by Punjab police. Bishnoi is the son of a well-off agriculturist in the sleepy Dataran Wali village near Abohar in Firozpur district of Punjab, and is in Tihar jail Shortly after the killing, Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar alleged that he, along with Bishnoi, had engineered this assassination. Bishnoi has 2 dozen cases registered against him, ranging from murder to extortion. The police believe that Moosewala's death is a result of gang war, but this isn't the first time that the gangster's name has cropped up in connection with the world of entertainment. In 2018, a man claiming to be an associate of Bishnoi's was arrested in Bangalore. This man, Sampath Nehra, alleged that he's been tasked with carrying out a hit on Salman Khan in retaliation for the black buck hunting case. The police had claimed that Lawrence Bishnoi belongs to the Bishnoi community, which considers black bucks sacred. Mumbai police beefed up Salman Khan's security after the threat level was analyzed. We have enhanced the overall security of Salman Khan. Police will be present around his apartment to make sure no nefarious activity is done by the gang from Rajasthan. So Bishnoi himself had threatened to kill Salman in Jodhpur. This is what he says. Everyone will know once we take action, we will kill Salman Khan here in Jodhpur. I haven't done anything yet, and they are accusing me of crimes for no reason. He said outside court in 2018. In 2020, the arrest of an alleged sharpshooter associated with Lawrence Bishnoi gang led police to claim that they had uncovered a plot to kill Salman Khan. Rahul alias Sangha alias Baba alias Sunni was arrested in Uttarakhand in connection with the murder case in Faridabad. During questioning, it has emerged that Rahul had traveled to Mumbai in January to conduct a resave for murder of Salman Khan. He went to the actor's house in Bandra for the purpose and stayed in the area for 2 days, said Rajesh Dugal. The DCB added he conducted this resave at the behest of Bishnoi and Sampath Nehra, another member of his gang, who has also conducted a receipt to plan for the same crime before he was arrested in June 2018. Delhi police special self sources told media that Bishnoi had been in active contact with his gang members and had asked his associate Shahrukh to kill Moosewala, but the plan failed and Shahrukh was arrested in April. So, friends, what do you think? Do you think this gangster Bishnoi is, responsible for, the death of, or rather, the murder of Sidhu Moosewala? What do you think, or is he just, a fall guy? Shalini says irresponsible behavior. So sad to hear this. Yes, if you're talking about KKs, yes. Hi Priya, good evening all. Deeply saddened by KK's untimely departure. It feels a little more conciseness might have saved his life. Wishing his soul Sadgati. Absolutely, Priya. Tom and Jerry says they should hold and punish the organizers. Absolutely, I do hope. But it's DD's government, and I don't know. I won't expect much out of it, Tom and Jerry, to be honest with you. And so, coming to the next piece of news, I don't know whether to laugh at this or not. Is that Urvashi Rautela is head over heels after being praised by Leonardo DiCaprio at Cannes 2020. She stated having met the American actor was a dream come true. After making her debut on Cannes red carpet, Urvashi says that she got emotional when Leonardo DiCaprio complimented her. She says, I was freaking out and falling short of words after receiving compliments from Leonardo DiCaprio. I was so emotional and could feel happy tears in my eyes. At the same time, I was blushing too. She stated having met the American actor was a dream come true. Urvashi continues, he also appreciated me as a very talented actress. I was waking up pinching myself. Did that really happen last night? Was I really dreaming about the sweet moment? I think it just shows how even the younger actors want to be out there and inspire young actors to keep going. That's my memory of meeting him. So, well, I think, in my opinion, I think that Urvashi Rautela must have literally dreamt this scenario, because I don't recollect any significant movie which she has done. And this tweet by this lady called Pri, sums it up very nicely. Urvashi, please, with a lot of crying smileys, or I must say the sarcastic smileys. So yeah, Maya says Bishnoi seems to be a fall guy for some big manipulator. Absolutely, this is what even my opinion is, Maya. Seems like Moosewala himself encouraged gun culture and was associated with gangsters, so not surprised the way he was taken. Yes, Priya. Um, Maya says that was watching KK's last videos. Big time negligence by organizers who took KK to the hotel instead of hospital when he was clearly in discomfort. Absolutely, Maya. They should have called the ambulance there and then at the concert and rushed him to the hospital instead of and the event organizers should be penalized and punished for switching off the AC during the concert, right? Priya says, I don't mean that he deserved to die, but it had been reported as revenge killing. Yeah, if you're talking about Sidhu Moosewala, yes. So, coming to the next piece of news is with regards to, as all of you know, the South Indian films have taken over the entire film industry in India with their massive success like KGF 2, RRR, and Pushpa. They have proved that linguistic borders don't matter in today's times. It has also questioned the Bollywood, and it has completely taken over Bollywood as the primary film industry. Now, as South Indian film continues to expand across India and the world, Hindi films are witnessing weekly bloodbaths. Large, well publicized films with budget over 100 crores are getting decimated every week without audiences. Having reviewed films for more than a decade, this is a report in one of the key newspapers. And he says that he has tried to make some sense of this trend. The primary difference seems to be the intention. South Indian films, be it comedy, action, or horror, are made with the single minded intention to entertain the audience. uh, you might not align with the aesthetics or resonate with the cinematic voice of the film, but you can never question the intention to entertain. So ever since SRK's film began to do massive business in the past and had a huge success in the past, Bollywood was a single-handed, biggest film industry back then. Bollywood films also suffer from copycat syndrome, where they continue to make films that trend in a particular decade. The 90s was a decade of action heroes, where the number of heroes equaled the number of heroines, where the villain was an evil patriarch who created a Ravana-like empire that needs to be infiltrated and destroyed. So the 2000s was a decade of romance, and one got to see the likes of brawny heroes like Sunny Deol and Sunil Shetty whisper sweet nothings into the ears of terrified heroines. This decade will be the decade of nationalism, but most Indians are patriotic by default. Expecting them to pay upwards of 200 to feel patriotic is extremely patronizing. This is what is one writer said in a leading key newspaper in India. Hindi cinema also struggled to sort of cope with the onslaught of OTT platforms. They go for quirky, offbeat, sensitive films. With the arrival of OTTs, the theater films can only survive if they provide what OTT films cannot: the thrills, the chases, the large screen experience of being transported en masse to a magical world. Southern films do not wear pretentious hats of any kind. They do not mind being ridiculed by critics who have studied film theory and worship Tarkovsky. Southern films don't pay half the film's budgets to their leading men. South Indian films do not have stars who are all tall, fair, and well built. They celebrate the ordinary, the normal. Abs are not necessary, but the ability to charm audiences is a must. If there's one thing South Indian films prioritize, it's the audiences. So, with regards to this particular report, in one of the key newspapers in India, I feel that Bollywood has been decimated not because of any of these reasons. It is mainly because, as you know, of the boycott Bollywood movement after the SSR was, sort of was murdered, and also mainly because of Bollywood cabal and their nefarious activities, that people have started boycotting Bollywood, and not only that, and people have seen through their anti-nationalistic sentiments and stories, and that's why people have started supporting patriotic South Indian films and film stars, which have better content and they're more nationalistic and everything. So let's take a few comments. Was watching KK's last videos. Big time negligence by organizers who tipped KK to the hotel instead of hospital when he was clearly in discomfort. Absolutely, Maya. Urvashi seems to be desperately catching at straws in the air by, mentioning Caprio's name. And I really don't know if there's any proof as to what she says is true, because did Leonardo really see any film of, Urvashi? I can't remember any significant film of Urvashi myself. KK complained of heaviness and was sweating profusely, surprised that the organizers didn't have a doctor on call. Absolutely, it is. The organizers should be penalized for this. How come the AC was not functioning? And according to a lot of reports, the seating capacity was 2,500, and they let in 5,000 people. So how is that possible, right? AK trying to visit temples for Prithvi Raj, but was fumbling to explain why he is on temple spree, especially to Kashi. He was avoiding desperately to comment Gyanvapi issue. Must be afraid of mafia. Are you hinting? Are you talking about Aryan Khan, Maya? Hi, Monisha. Film industry is murky, whether it's South, Bangla, Bhojpuri, Bollywood, or even Hollywood. Casting couch, drugs, nepotism, money laundering, mysterious deaths have always existed. This is one of the main reasons people have boycotted Bollywood, and and I'm sure that people will slowly realize the dirt exists in all film industries, be it sandalwood, Bollywood, or Collywood, or whatever. So people will slowly realize this. Awareness will be spread, and hopefully you guys will share these videos. Make the youth aware, and So coming to the next piece of news. Yeah, I'm just taking one more comment. Is from RP, is that honestly, I feel after COVID vaccines, too many heart attacks that to those who felt fit and followed healthy lifestyle. Yeah, thanks for your opinion, RP. But I really don't think that's the case, that the vaccine has any side effects. This is my personal opinion. And I do think that young people dying out of heart attacks is due to some other nefarious reasons of the cabal in film industry. Um, Oh yeah, AK means Akshay Kumar. Oh yeah, right. Avoiding Gyanwapi issue, probably not to inform. Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Rahul and Sonia Gandhi. So ED has summoned Rahul and Sonia Gandhi over the National Herald case. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi has been summoned, and the Enforcement Directorate summoned them over the National Herald case, which the Congress claims was closed by the investigating agency in 2015. The BJP is using puppet agencies to intimidate political opponents. National Herald has a history that goes back to independence days. Congress leader and senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi said, adding that all opposition leaders, including Mamta Banerjee, Farooq Abdullah, are under attacks from central agencies. All companies do improve the balance sheet by turning loans into equities. This is what Singhvi added. In 2015, the ED closed the National Herald case, but the government didn't like it, and it removed the ED officials concerned, brought in new officials, and reopened the case. This is to divert attention from inflation and other raging problems. This is what Singhvi added. And Randeep Singh Surjewala said, "We will not get frightened. We will not bow down. The BJP has in fact disgraced and dishonored the freedom fighters, the stalwarts of the nation, and their contribution to the freedom struggle in which their party and their predecessors have no role. Singhvi said, adding that this is a weird case of money laundering in which no money is involved. The National Herald case pertains to the alleged misappropriation of assets of over 2,000 crore rupees in an equity transaction. The notice to the Gandhis has been served a few days ago. In April, the ED questioned former Union Minister Pawan Bansal, senior Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge in connection with the money laundering probe into the National Herald case. So yeah, now BJP seems to be taking the attack to the Congress once again, and I do feel that BJP feels that the election is nearing for the 2024 election, and the build-up is slowly starting, and they're not getting complacent, even if Rahul Gandhi is the opponent for Modi in terms of Congress. I do feel that BJP is not taking it, complacent this time, and they're trying their maximum best to sort of, take the attack to Congress party. Hi, Ushma, how are you? So, today it's quite shocking that KK, a very talented singer, you know, he passes away due to negligence of the certain event organizers, and it is a very freak accident. I must say that if he died due to these circumstances, that if he had a cardiac arrest, and if it was aggregated, if it was sort of caused due to the AC being turned off and the immense heat which was inside the auditorium, if that was one of the reasons, then it is very unfortunate. And if that's the case, then the organizers should be penalized. This is my opinion. ED summons to Sonia and Rahul have nearly 90% shares in National Herald, and Swami says it will be difficult for them to explain away. Hope at least ED meets with some success, Maya. So, like Maya, I have another take to this National Herald case is that I don't think BJP will gain anything if Rahul and Sonia Gandhi goes behind bars, and because then they will get the sympathy vote. So this is not something which Modi will do, in my opinion. They'll keep postponing it, and they'll find the right opportune moment, sort of take action. This is my gut feeling, right? So Shalini says exactly, Maya. So, friends, these are some of the news for today, and I do hope that Samir Wankade, who has been posted in Chennai, he does some sort of significant work, and his he and his family is safe, and we should continue supporting him. And I do hope that justice is comes. Whether it's the Aryan Khan case, or whether it's the SSR case, whether it's the Disha case or Jia case, I do hope the best things happen in the future. So see you tomorrow, and good night.